angels. Welcome to the Phoenix Portal, which is what I call my lives here on Conscious Lifestyle Coaching. And again, my name is Raileigh. I'm an author, poet, speaker, and healer. And so excited to chat with y'all tonight. Whoever comes in or watches later on a Friday, I commend you for being that person who hermits in and focuses on themselves or doing what you need to do to stay focused on your soul mission at this time. Let me make sure. So I haven't done a live on YouTube on my phone, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm speaking to someone today who almost walked away from their life purpose and soul mission. And if you're listening, can you chat and let me know that you're here so I can figure out how to use it? Oh, there you are. Cheers to you. Welcome, welcome. Speaking to someone today who almost walked away from their soul mission. So I'm catching you right now before you turn fully away, and that you keep your eyes on the vision this year, 2025. So I'm speaking to someone who, man, it's just easy to get distracted on the soul mission, the soul path. We often want to deny who we are. And so if you're watching now or later, stop denying who you really are. Let me know who you are, where you're listening in from. This message is about reclaiming yourself. You've already done it. If you're watching in and you're tuning into Conscious Lifestyle Coaching, you've been resonating with my messages, then I know I've been putting a lot of energy out here that's demanding all of us to take a look at where we are, what we're doing. It's wintertime where I'm living and I am tired, but y'all were calling me. My spirit was being called up here to speak to you and to share some love and peace and empowerment, as that's my calling. And if you're resonating with this channel, then you also have a very similar gift. And so I thank you for being a part of this mission with me. Listen, I wanted to go to sleep, so thank you for calling me in here. And again, I was asking Spirit, why do I need to get on tonight? And it's a very heavy energy that I'm experiencing. Conscious Lifestyle Coaching was birthed to deal with my own mental health, right? Being very disappointed with society and in myself and not really enjoying what I was doing with my life. And so we face those circumstances in our life when we just have to make a change. Hello from Florida. So I was just trying to dive into what's going on here. And first thing first, is Spirit said, y'all are tired. We're all so tired. 2024, it broke a lot of people's spirits. And so if you're resonating with me, then you're here to uplift your spirit out now. And I know it's winter time where I'm living. It is not the time when we're supposed to be blooming and blossoming, but spiritually, yes, that is exactly where we're supposed to be. And so I'm out here, even though it's taking all of my energy to speak to you all today so that you can awaken your spirit. So by the time spring comes, whatever spring means to you, whatever is about to be unfolded in your life, that it will happen, that this is the year it's going to happen. It takes a lot of commitment to the soul mission and soul path to spiritually uplift people, even in your own darkness. So I'm speaking to healers, I'm speaking to spiritual shamans, I'm speaking to leaders. Again, a lot of you came into the channel with my message, you are a spiritual leader for humanity. And slowly but surely the numbers have disappeared and everyone gets quiet and realizes, oh, it's going to take a lot of work to show up every single day and speak the wisdom of your soul without shame. To show up on the screen if you got a pimple on your face, if you're homeless right now, if your relationship, your marriage is on the rocks, and you're not perfect. We're not supposed to be perfect. Being on the soul mission, being a soul guide means we stand up in our imperfections, in our questions with life, and we talk it out loud for the world to see, to recognize we're not alone on our journey. Antonio, are you in Los Angeles? If so, I pray peace and safety for you. Di says they haven't slept in days. I have been back and forth between insomnia and wanting to not wake up, get out of bed at all. I could just keep going. I could just keep sleeping. But something within me stirs me to get on, and it said someone needs to speak to me tonight. Someone needs to hear a message. So we're gonna get to that message. Hey, Dominique. So, yeah, here we are. Hello, everybody. Hey there. Hey, sweet souls, beautiful souls. Thank you. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what's swimming in your consciousness. Again, the message tonight is about reclaiming what it is you almost walked away from, what 2024 was so heavy for you that you almost gave it all up. You turned away from your truth in many ways, physically, emotionally, spiritually sometimes. And so Spirit has asked me to get up here and say, hey, it's time. Don't deny who you are. Don't deny the vision on your soul. It is very real. It is very much needed. And so I'm talking about finances. I'm talking about business a lot. Even though I'm a spiritual person, I can channel your ancestors, and you guys know it. I have conversations with angels all day. I work from home. I'm alone in my little creative box all day long, and I speak to Spirit. And so while I'm pulled often to just share a prophetic message with you that will make you feel good, I have to hold us accountable as a coach, as a professional, and I'm speaking to professionals, and I'm asking you that your spiritual gifts need to be manifested and brought into the industries that you're called into. We need to create the economy that we desire, that we really want to see, because it's not working for us, is it? We shouldn't be struggling so hard to afford where we live. It should not feel impossible to be able to purchase a home for your family. You should not be having to contemplate whether your life is worth living. So if you're resonating with this, or if you see this in someone else, clearly things are not okay. And if you're watching my channel, then you're being called to lead people out of that. How are you going to do it? And yes, I'm presenting inspiration and motivation along my journey with you. But I'm also here to build professional community with people who are highly spiritual, highly gifted. So if you have any questions, I'm going to start reading in the chat. Hip hop girl back on her path, yes. So Katie in here is going to help people coming from a nursing background connect with the magic of hip hop, using it as an outlet and a healing for people who spend most of their days in a very rigid routine schedule, very clinical, very static, very boring. And those are the people who are touching people. Those are the people who are healing people who don't love their lives, who don't love themselves. And so if you're being called to help people create with creation, creative magic, music, writing, it is very much needed. I don't want to go to a doctor that hates themselves and then they touch my body. If you're a spiritual path, you know how energetic exchange works. I've been there. I cannot go to medical doctors like that anymore. So if you're creating a service right now and you don't think people need it, people need it. People just have a lot of pride. If people are struggling with buying homes right now, paying for their medical bills, trying to buy a car so they can keep working, and then they go to dealers who don't give a damn about you because they don't have any morals. They don't know who the divine is in themselves. We're here to help that by creating avenues for joy for people to remember who they are in their spiritual life. There is a spiritual drought that's come over the land, and you are here to water that. People need it. People don't even know they need it, but they need it. I spoke to someone who was on the medical professional path like I was when I was at Florida State University. And she's also a quantum healer, an energy healer. Beautiful soul, divine feminine, sacred sister, walking the nursing path, and saw exactly what people really need, and she's doing everything she can to provide that need for people. I'm so thankful for her. And people like her and people like you who are listening now. I don't know, I feel called to share a story that so I'm a woman in my 20s. I want to have a baby soon, and I go to the gynecologist. And the woman doctor is speaking to me, asks me what I do, and I tell her I own a business. She says I need to be more modest. And I say, okay. And then she's giving me my exam. Her fingers are inside of me. And then, you know, she asked me about my sexual history. I was celibate for 3 years, y'all. And then I ended that celibacy. And that's all it took for this woman with her hands inside of me to judge me and say I needed to be more humble. She's speaking to herself. She's projecting an energy. She doesn't need to have that experience. So I'm a healer, and all I can do is feel her energy. Right? Yuck. Why are we emotionally processing while I'm coming here for help? That was a woman that I should be coaching with about her self-love, because that's what it ended up into. And I'm sharing that story as the testimony of the lack of self-love and self-healing that is present in people right now. Even though they seem successful, even though they seem like they have it all together, they're the doctors and the lawyers of society, it doesn't mean that they don't need help too. Clearly. I should not have been shamed. And it was an awareness of just the shame that women experience in society, trying to be professional, trying to be heard or seen and valued. So I forgive her, but I don't know. I had to share that story. So if that woman who I had a phone call with yesterday hears that, I'm thankful for her and people like you who are listening, who are going to share spiritual healing services. And your clients will be the people that you don't expect. They will be CEOs. They'll be rich people. Rich people watch me. I'm not rich, but they're still receiving value from me. Everyone here is so gifted. And your services are needed. So I'm talking about money, not because we're doing this for money. I'm talking about it to just remind you that there's prosperity here in the economy. We build for each other, but we have to invest in each other. Receive a coach. Receive a healing. Invest in a holistic doctor who will prescribe you herbs even though they don't take insurance. Healthier living, conscious living is the insurance. That was a little tangent. Mitch says, can you help me release energy inside? Tremors for years, no medical issue. Channel the energy outside of you. Create magic with it. Create healing with it. Tremors. Something is trying to be shaken out of you. What is it? Often our society puts us in boxes. And so we see the diagnoses of ADHD in our children and we medicate them when they just need to be outside and not trapped in a desk under LED lights and controlled all day. They need to roam, they need to play, they need to move their bodies, and so do we as adults. We need opportunities to breathe and move our bodies how our bodies are asking us to move, to release the tension that we store in our body all day. But everything is so neurotypical and so square. And so if I have pain in my shoulder, and I'm working a professional job, suit and tie in an office. I can't get away from my desk and just dance it out real quick. I have to go to the bathroom. But I think our careers would be more fun, those jobs would be more fun if we all could move how we needed to move, release the pain and the trauma in our bodies. So if you have a creative practice where it involves dance or yoga, people need that. It's the pain we store in our fascia that goes into our muscles and in our bones. Then we deny it, and then we're living with chronic pain, and then we get depressed. And then we use substances to numb our pain in our bodies. Then our DNA further unravels, and we eat terrible food because we're just trying to feel good. We just want some dopamine, and then we get cancer. We need the lifestyle medicines. We need your business. We need your vision to come into life at this time. So when asked if I've spoken to the dead, that's a weird question. You can't really speak to the dead, but you can speak to spirit. You can speak to the Holy Spirit that lives within me. And I understand that people I love are also spiritual beings, and if they're on the other side, they're still communicating with me, obviously, because we're one love. It's infinite. So I'm not against psychic mediumship. I used to have the gift as a kid to see ghosts and all types of entities, and then I asked God to take that gift away because I was like, that's not for me in this life. But every now and then I say, Spirit, God, the divine, if you need me to hear a message, please show me. I pick up energy a lot. I do grid work, light work. I'm a drifter, a gypsy spirit. I'm always moving. I've been along the Trail of Tears, hitting hot spots of slavery in the Southeast, and I know I'll be continuing to move around the grid around the world, as my spiritual calling I received on my soul mission path is to build spaces for sacred prayer and transformation and community around the world, and be connected with other communities around the world. And so we pick up on really dense vibrations because we're meant to transmute it into a more light vibration. So I go into the dark corners where lots of people have died and there's been a lot of war. And then I have a gathering where people sit around a fire and we play music and we sing and we connect and we pray. And that's a much better reality than what was once walking this land. So in a way, yeah, that's speaking to the dead, right? Because it is in the memories, in the energy that speaks to our soul that says something needs to change here. Can you be the one to change it, please? Sound healing. Yes, I offer sound healing for people who visit me in person, who meditate with me in person, or come to my retreats. I do sound bath meditations. Or I sleep with my drum and my flute. I'm starting to sing as well. Someone says they don't feel like an employee. You're not an employee. We work for the divine. Song request. You guys can comment songs in any of my videos. I love music. I would love to hear the music you guys listen to. Hello from Rhode Island. Yes, loving ourselves unconditionally. Homelessness in the States, yes, it's a huge problem. That's why we're not relying on insurance companies or real estate agents or any of that. We're building for ourselves at this time. I don't believe in waiting for an opportunity or waiting for someone to save me. I believe in walking in faith, doing the work, walking into the reality I'm dreaming of, making it happen for other people as I do it. But yeah, I've struggled with homelessness. Alright, I'm just gonna catch up. You guys are commenting too fast. How old am I? I'm 27. healing social anxiety. um, what I do is when I walk into a space, I go within. I'm just in the room with the divine, with God at all times. Sometimes I kind of hermit within myself in public spaces. I'm very comfortable just sitting quietly in a corner, not partaking in social interactions. I just enjoy watching and observing, letting people approach me if they really want to talk about something with substance. Otherwise, everything else is draining to me. I'm not very much of a social butterfly, but I'm relatable and I'm kind and very approachable, but I believe in protecting our energy. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat. Lots of questions. All right. I'm not surprised if there's a spider behind me. I live very rurally. I'm in the middle of nowhere, in the mountains. My thoughts on AI and spiritual business. I use it as a tool. It helps me save time, so I have more time to connect with you all, with more heart-to-heart connection. And the other things that I'm using to build business, such as my SEO or just getting products out, that don't require emotional connection, that require more research. That is when AI comes super in handy. So I've come to peace with AI technology. I can't run away from it. As I've told you guys, I don't believe in running away from society. I believe in changing it from the inside out. So I use the technologies, but at the same time, I'm living very balanced. Again, I'm living in nature. I live a very, very grounded, humble, and simple life. At the same time, I know it's my calling to connect with people from around the world, so I have to use technology. I have to keep up with the technology. Otherwise, I'm participating in the allowing of AI technology to control the minds of people in a way that is not conscious, not loving, not grounded. And that's what's scary to me, right? If I go on TikTok or Instagram and I just see foolishness and I know that the children are watching it, and then if I put content out that is asking people to be present and to think about things more consciously and with more love in their hearts of how they're building business and how they're living their life, then I sleep better, and that's my spiritual calling. I'm not a technological person. I don't enjoy it, but the skills and the guidance comes to me when I need it to advance myself, so I can keep showing up the best I can for you. But I don't demonize AI. If you demonize AI, then it will be demonized. So we are conscientious beings. It's what we put into it is what we create and what's going to be our reality. So we don't have to be afraid of something we create unless purposely you're creating it to be something you're afraid of. So what reality are you subscribing to with AI? So I'm subscribing to the reality where it's a tool for me to use. If you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, the message tonight was, if you're walking away from the truth of who you are, please don't. We need you. I get it. I get it if you're tired. I get it if you don't believe in the success of it, that you're not the person who's supposed to be doing it. If you don't believe people really need your services, it's a lie. The world is waking up very rapidly. And if you're on this path with me, then you have to create the business. You have to create the products before people know they even need it or are looking for it. You teach them. You bring awareness to what people need. So there's a lot of comments in here. I can't keep up with all of them. But just sharing in some peace and presence. How do you learn to trust people again? Keep your heart open. We don't put our trust in people. We trust in God. So if we're on the soul path, the soul mission, and you're working in your spiritual guidance every single day, and you're just serving from that place of intention and pure-heartedness, then what's meant to align will align with you there. And if something aligns with you and it ends up betraying you in some way, then you have to take a look at the ways your choices have betrayed that soul mission, that soul purpose. And so we don't recognize that we're punishing ourselves, or life is punishing us because people betray us or we get disappointed by people. Everyone's just a teacher pointing us back again to our soul. And you're allowed to take as much time as you need to open your heart again, open your mind to new connections and new people. But if your solitude starts turning to an isolation where you feel that you're in pain, that you're suffering, that you don't belong on earth anymore, then that means you need people. We always need people, but sometimes it is wise to walk a solitary path for a moment, but not forever. So before you walk in that solitary path, have an intention behind it. Why are you going to hermit? Why are you going to go within? Why are you going to have very strong boundaries with other people at this time? Because when you have an intention behind it, you know when it's going to be over. It's okay to trust, but don't have expectations for people to be perfect, because that's when people disappoint us, when we have an expectation in them that they can never fulfill. Our only expectation each day is to fulfill what it is in our heart and our soul that gives us peace in our heart and in our mind at the end of the day when we go to sleep, that we did enough, that we are doing enough, and that doing is just simply being at peace, being a loving human being. And the joy, the fun part, is how are you going to walk that out? We get to discover that. We get to explore that. And it is bad relationships sometimes that allow us to discover what our joy is, because we have to be in the absence of it. So it's not really about trusting people, it's about being in alignment or not. Am I religious? No, I'm not religious, but I have been in religion. Grew up very religious. At this time, I am not religious. But religion is still very near and dear to my soul, as people I love are in religion, and they're still my teachers and my friends and my grandmothers. Yep. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, thank you for spending this evening with me, or morning, whenever you're watching this. Just taking a moment to meditate and reaffirm for ourselves that we're right on track, we're right on the right path. It's still very early in the year, and as I share messages, and if you start feeling anxious or disappointed with where you are, that is not my intention. My intention is to provide hope and a vision of where you are moving into, where you can move into, what is possible. And if you're listening, if you're aware of that possibility, of that vision, then you can manifest it. It is your truth. But you get to decide. If you are seeking support and help, please receive that. As we're building things, whatever that means to you, we're not asked to do it alone. In fact, the divine very much encourages us not to do things alone. We always have soul family. There's always community waiting. There's always a team for you to support your vision moving forward. We each have our own soul vision and soul path, but a lot of us have very similar ones. And so we meet and we align on this vibration to help each other. And if you're looking at me and you see the possibility of help, that's okay. If you're a man or a woman, don't get so caught up on the appearance of people, but listen to the soul. It's guiding you somewhere, and there are other people who speak that guidance and share that guidance, and it can manifest in any type of person. And I know I speak to men especially, and I want to encourage you, whether you're a woman or a man listening right now, it is safe and it is encouraged for you to receive brotherhood and sisterhood on this path. It will help elevate you faster and closer to your divine destiny. Hi Tiffany, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. So if you're building at this time, eventually you're going to have to hire help, receive help. And so I come on here just to build authentic relationships, to build trust, and to share opportunities so that you know that you're not alone, and just to share some love. Thank you so much. So let me know how you're resonating with this energy, reclaiming your soul self at this time. There are many ways I lost myself in 2024. And sometimes I doubt what I'm doing and showing up at all. I did not want to get on this life. Many people have come in and said hello and are listening now, so I know it's worth it. There's always one person. So if you're a creator yourself, every time you produce something and share a post, there's always going to be one person who needed to hear that message. Even if that person is you, that is where I started years ago. And the numbers always flow in and out as a creator, the algorithms. Sometimes a message really captures the ego of people and they love it. And then people dwindle away when they find out you're a coach. You're asking them to do work. And so sometimes I discredit my own work. And so I come on here to empower myself, and that self being no self, that we are here journeying through this at the same time. And so no matter how dark and heavy it feels right now, your path is going to keep going. Don't feel like you have to run at 1,000,000 miles a second either on this journey. I'm going to be sitting here until the day I die. Not in this life, but showing up, speaking out, connecting with people in any way I can. I'm not going anywhere, so if I presented an opportunity to someone and you're still meditating on it, that's okay. Take your time. I don't know, I disagree about love being overrated. Chemically no different than eating large quantities of chocolate. Okay? That's tasty. I really like chocolate. But, yeah, you know, if I'm gonna compare love to chocolate, well, chocolate is a seed pod. It grows here. It's encoded with DNA to be a seed pod for chocolate. It's one of the most decadent, rich things of luxury we can experience on Earth. It's pretty magnificent, actually. Sometimes I think heaven on earth is, for myself, it's sitting on a beach eating a mango. And I may add a piece of chocolate to that with someone I love. And so I can't compare the people I love to a piece of chocolate. I can't compare what it's like to feel heard and seen in my soul with someone else. It doesn't have to be an intimate lover. And I think the things that feed us in our dopamine in our brain are just reminding us to enjoy being alive in this human vessel and just remember it's okay. There's a lot of suffering here, but the reward is remembering how loved we are. And we're going to keep remembering how loved we are until the very end. And then we become a complete oneness with everybody, with all there is, with God. I believe in God. I believe we all have the Spirit of God within us. And because of that Spirit, we've been gifted with a divinity that is very godlike, that can do godlike things on the earth. Not saying crazy superpowers, but there's something very special about you. That offers sweetness, that offers decadence, that can create luxury for someone else. And so chocolate, the sweetness is just an aspect of all that we are. So I can't compare love to just being a piece of chocolate. I define God as love, being someone who wants to connect with people from around the world, no matter who they believe God is, as long as it's love. We're speaking on the same vibration, so if you're here, I think you believe in love or you wouldn't be able to hear me. Hello, David. We're just connecting tonight, really just reminding us that we're not alone on our path and being honest with ourselves that sometimes it feels really dark and really heavy and very tiring to be an awakened spiritual being on planet Earth and to see all the devastation happening around us, to see all the trauma and the struggles. And so I'm just reminding everyone, including myself tonight, that our spiritual visions, what we're building at this time, is needed, and to keep building and to keep hold of your true self at this time. Don't sell it away. I have almost sold myself away many times. And you know you're doing that. You're selling your soul, you're burying the hope in your heart. You stop believing in God and love when you start numbing, when you start getting sick. I'm not looking for anything, I'm just being. I have everything I need. I'm truly in a peace. I would say the places of urgency for me is just wanting to see less suffering. Healing the fear of natural devastation, being surrounded by death, and just wanting to share peace of people who are either dying spiritually or have experienced some type of death around them. And so there's a spark of life that we have to gift from ourselves and radiate from ourselves and reclaim it for ourselves. Yes, not doing so much. But thank you all for listening. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for reclaiming your soul and sitting in presence, not asking why am I streaming it? Doesn't matter. Why are you here? Why do you have a question? What are you seeking? I showed up here. We just showed up at the same time. I don't think that's a coincidence. And so I pray that your beautiful soul just shows up where it needs to show up next. And that people come to you and that they see light and peace and presence upon you. And that you share that and just pass the torch on. That's all I'm doing. Of all the other places we can be and things we could be doing right now that are harmful to ourselves and others. We're just in the safety of presence. Yes. It's a privilege for myself also to be in nature with no self-service. There's no one around me except the landowners. We all just keep to ourselves. Just open pasture and field around me. And that's the space I needed so I can keep showing up for you all, because I feel you spiritually. And I pray on the things that you guys experience and face. And then I show up all day and just speak love and peace into people, either in the live, in my emails, so many emails, free phone calls every day. Uplifting vibrations. And so if you're still listening, that is a gift you have, is to uplift the vibration, to raise the spirit of others. And I didn't mean to be upset with you for asking why I'm here, because I was asking spirit, why do I need to come on? I did not want to come on. And that's kind of the frequency we're on of, why do we have to do the things we're being called to do? We really don't want to sometimes. And so I put myself on the spot with my embarrassment, with my shyness. Nothing perfect to say to you. Just to say, hey, I'm not a perfect being, but we're showing up. And we need you to show up in spaces. And to be a light. Especially at this time. There's a lot of darkness around me. So I keep going deeper and deeper and deeper within, away from people, away from situations, away from jobs, away from relationships. And then there's a longing in my heart and my soul, and I keep asking God in my own private time, why do I keep separating myself over and over and over again? And God, the divine, my angels, they just want me to be at peace in my soul, to speak on that experience of the journey of self-love and what that can do for other people. I can actually connect authentically more with people when I go within and I honor myself and not kill myself working in other places or trying to maintain relationships that are robbing my soul and my energy. Not because they're bad people, not because they're bad jobs, but they're not what my soul needs, not what my soul wants. All right, then you can go. You don't have to be here. Everything you say is just a reflection of yourself. I'm being very vulnerable right now. You are behind a screen. We can't see you. It's easy for you to say things. Welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Faith Mission, welcome. Welcome to the journey. Yes, America is a rough place. And I've been connecting with people who are not American and still look at America as a land of possibility and hope and wealth. And it's possible, but it's possible everywhere. Redefining wealth, that's kind of the sickness in America, is chasing money, chasing status, chasing things that don't matter. And then all these natural disasters happen and we're left in chaos. And what America needs is people who are providing alternative healing, providing spiritual medicines, so people get out of that chase of the material that is destroying the planet. So thank you for being here and being on this journey with me. If you're creating a business that is more sustainable, healing for the mind, obviously healing for the body, but providing safe emotional space for people, that's labor. It takes a lot of effort. How do I navigate people's fears thinking too good to be true? sabotaging, misconstruing your messages? Do you just ignore them? Well, yeah, I ignore a lot of things. I keep my chin up. Being just a kind person, someone who's committed to discipline, it doesn't mean I'm perfect at all. I've definitely had my emotional reactions to things, but I'm learning to be more stronger than my emotions. I don't let my emotions rule me. People who are on the spiritual path, sometimes we start believing our emotions are God, and then we make choices and actions that are very impulsive. I do that all the time. But yeah, I'm learning things to let things wash off of me. But what is true to my soul, and it might be true for anyone who's listening, is I've actually been a very silent person. So I grew up in my childhood being bullied or not experiencing kindness at home. I'm not going to dive into that just yet. And not saying a damn word, not saying anything. I was almost pretty mute for most of my life, very quiet. No one could really hear what I'm saying. And so my spiritual medicine, my empowerment is to actually be very direct and upfront with people and say, I will not tolerate your disrespect. I don't want to talk to you. You do not honor me. You don't actually want to listen to what I have to say. You're being very judgmental. You're being very dramatic. You're being very gossipy. And that's not my vibration. I'm just trying to share some peace. So I'm sorry I don't have time. That is something I need. It's going to make me a stronger person and put me in a better position to be of service as a coach, as a public speaker. I say that your biggest blessing in life has also been your greatest hindrance, your greatest block. Again, I always had a trouble speaking up for myself, but that is what people loved about me. I was always a safe space for people. They always knew they could find kindness in me. So now I have boundaries. If people don't see me in my truth, they don't honor me in my truth, that's not my problem. It's not your problem either. If someone doesn't see you in your truth, that means they don't know who they are. They don't see themselves in their truth, or they're reflecting back how they perceive themselves and other people. We're all mirrors, right? We're all brothers and sisters on the path. And so recognize when you're being summoned to be in a teaching position. And so if someone is being mean to you or wanting to harm you, you can say, okay, I'm in a position where I'm a victim, or you could say, I'm here to teach and to lead the vibration above this. When it comes to violence, the unspeakable things, the really evil things, that is when I let karma deal with them. I've been on my path of forgiveness. Spirit will show me a lot of travesties that happen around the earth, human trafficking and things like that. And I see in spirit. And so I ask God, well, what do you do with them? But God was very clear to me that it is not our job to kill or to murder people. We just pray for them. Because if in the same lifetime someone can go and dive into that kind of evil, they can come out of it. But if we fight that fire with fire, then we just encourage people to stay in that density and that evilness and that vibration. We encourage it. We add the flame to the fire. But that's a very, people have a lot of different opinions on that. But speaking from a human being that's experienced a lot of pain and trauma and violence upon my body, I have to say, every day is a moment to forgive. And that is something that if other people are committing crimes, evil, that is for them to live with. And I receive my divine justice by being a coach and helping people heal those things. I've spoken to people, I've coached people who I know, whether they tell me or not, are pedophiles, are thieves, are murderers. And I still see the light in them. That's just my gift. It's also what's hurt me. But that's also why I hermit. And I protect my energy, and I gift myself peace. So I can have the strength to have compassion for people like that. And I do have compassion for people like that. I want to see souls heal. Yeah, it is God's work. It's not our job to judge people. So I'll make it to an hour. I've never done it live for an hour, so. Any final questions or final thoughts? And thank you all who are in here, who are sharing positive energy, loving energy. And I pray that anyone who's been listening and watching me and all you feel is hate in your heart, I'm sorry for anyone who's hurt you. And I share love and peace with you today. I still see you as a beautiful soul. I will not allow you to continue to disrespect me, so I block people a lot. I delete comments a lot. It's my season of not letting people disrespect me, and I encourage you, whoever's listening now or later, people are going to reflect back to you the self-respect that you have on this path, on this journey. We can't ask people to respect us either or to honor us. We just have to walk it out. And then as we continue to walk in that faith of our soul mission, our soul path, then we align with the community and the people that truly see us in our light. I want to spend the last couple minutes just encouraging you all, if you're tired, to rest. My messages, or if you're listening to messages like mine, our spirit gets ignited, our spirit is so awake. It doesn't mean our body should be. I have a hard time with that. When my body can't keep up with my spirit and my visions. And that's when we experience burnout on this path as a spiritual entrepreneur, as a conscious business owner. We start trying to build things ourselves for too long. If you're truly in alignment with your soul, you have all the time in the world and you will be guided every step of the way. What's next for you? But if you're pushing too hard, if things feel forced, that's when you need to take a step back. That means you're not trusting. That means you don't actually truly believe in yourself to make things happen. You don't trust that people will come to help you. I encourage you, if you're on this path with me, if you truly want to see 2025 go a little bit more peaceful than 2024, then learn to find the working rest. There's a bridge here where we can be in motion and still in rest. I'm in peace right now. I'm still connecting with a lot of souls that I'm praying will connect with me if they're ready to receive support, of course. Yes. Ooh, that's a great point, Isa. The lower frequencies, people who are just mean and cruel, have nothing better to do. They are not awakened to their soul mission and soul purpose. So if you feel like you have too much to do all the time, that's great. But also rest. Learn to receive more if you're man watching. If you're watching my channel, trying to figure out why you're listening to prophetic messages, motivational messages from a woman, a young woman, well, that's your feminine side saying, hey, I would like to receive some love and nourishment. And you're allowed to receive that. And you're allowed to receive that from a sister. So I pray 2025 manifests even more for you. More authentic community. People that you truly trust. That you learn to discern that voice of the soul. And you know it when you meet those people. It's like you've known them for a very long time. And without even trying, you could walk away from them. But still your spirits speak. And when you get aligned, beautiful things happen. More community happens. There's more flow. There's more beauty. There's more hope. So learn who those people are. That was a problem I had in 2024. I put my trust in the wrong people because I was desperate to be loved, desperate to not be alone. My books are available on Amazon. Phoenix Medicines is my latest book, published by Otter Pine, and Women Connected in Wisdom is the bestseller. I'm featured as a spiritual expert in that, but it's a cohort of many, many women that I'm hoping will come to Conscious Lifestyle Coaching and speak to you all as well. And of course, you can write to me anytime. I answer every email. Sometimes it takes me a minute, but I write back to everybody. So let me know how I can help you come into the Medicine Garden. It's a live Google Meet. So you all can meet in person, face to face, come on the video, and share your soul message as well with the channel and build professional community with me and each other. Or if you just need maybe some encouragement to work on your own public speaking, get some ideas, get used to being on camera, because if you're resonating with me, part of building a authentic business means you have to build relationships, you have to speak to people, you have to share your beautiful creations with the world. So come join me in the Medicine Garden on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and Sunday, this Sunday, January 19th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. is my monthly Ascension Seminar. It's called Treasure at the Bottom. We're going to talk about expressing our soul wisdom, so all the things that our soul has endured in this life up until this point. When we express it, when we share our story, that is when we're building a life of purpose and of prosperity. And I'm trying to help people who are very spiritual rescript in their mind about receiving income, as that's where I am on my journey as a writer and a divine channeler as well. We're allowed to sustain our lives because it is in the sustaining of our life that we can give more. So for spiritual, I get it. We want to denounce money, but there's still an exchange that has to happen. You're allowed to receive on this journey. You must receive so you can keep giving. So treasure at the bottom, no matter where you are on your journey, what you think you need or what you are without, will find the places in which you are highly abundant, highly gifted, and ready, beyond ready, to serve others. So treasure at the bottom, that'll be an Ascension Seminar. It's live, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can register for that and see all my offerings at consciouslifestylecoaching.com. And of course, please leave us a review on Amazon about the books. And of course, finally, Life Purpose Actualization is still open for coaching clients. So that's where we walk out a 3-month journey together as you receive clarity on your own divine purpose. And then I gift you the tools and strategies I've received along my own journey from my coaches, my business guides. Life Purpose Actualization. If that's you, let me know. Or you're welcome to a drop-in call anytime. So peace and love to you. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Keep shining, keep resting. The time will come when everything will bloom and explode. But don't allow your own stress to prevent you from getting there. So keep the peace. I'll speak to you all again soon. Have a beautiful night or morning. Much love. Yes, reach out to me. Take care.